Africa.
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Salam Media, your home of humanitarian journalism. And we're coming to you live from our studios here in Johannesburg on a very, very beautiful, beautiful Juma Friday. And we're glad that you're able to spend your 2-3 hours of Juma with us. It's been a pleasure. And with that being said, this hour of news and views is proudly sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency. Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond. And yeah, we're now going to be switching our attention, I think, on a very, very cool concept. We'll be bringing you a story of resilience, innovation, and resistance from the heart of Palestine. As Gaza's healthcare system teeters on the brink of collapse, with hospitals reduced to rubble by relentless attacks, one Palestinian activist has found a creative way to rebuild hope through, get this, a fizzy drink. Gaza Cola, the brainchild of human rights advocate and filmmaker Osama Qashoo, was recently launched in London, and profits from this alternative to Coca-Cola are earmarked to rebuild Al Karama Hospital, once a vital lifeline in northern Gaza. Beyond fundraising, Gaza Cola also carries a powerful message against global corporations complicit in armed conflicts. And joining us live is Osama Qashoo. He's coming to us live from London. He's the creator of Gaza Cola. And he'll be sharing with us his vision, and we'll also discuss how a soft drink can challenge a corporate greed while rebuilding lives in Gaza. Osama, assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah so much for giving us your time. Really appreciate you joining us on Salam Media.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, and thank you very much for having me this morning to talk about Gaza Cola as another tool to stop or to try and stop this genocide by spreading awareness and moving forward.
I want to touch on what almost feels like a simple question, but it's very, very important, because if not Gaza Cola, then it could have literally been anything. But what inspired you to go this route? What inspired you to create it? And how did you decide that something as simple as a soft drink could be a vehicle for both resistance and rebuilding?
Okay, first of all, brother, let us just try and for us as humans, as people who with different professionalism, whether we are journalists, doctors, advocates, lawyers, teachers, academic, human beings, we have to always try and do something, create something, especially when we live amongst a genocide, especially when we live in a genocidal world where we are being made imprisoned inside ourselves and made to feel that we can't do anything. So as a Palestinian, first and foremost, I'm a father of somebody who lost his child during this genocide. And I'm a Palestinian who lost a lot of his family members during this genocide in Gaza. I'm talking every day and every minute to my friends and my family who've been butchered on a daily basis. So this is not just a business project. I mean, this project has been created to do physical action. And let us remember, I'm talking to somebody from South Africa, and South African people know very, very well the bane of the apartheid and being marginalized, and the exchange rate of their life has been almost nothing for so many years. And the journey of South African and the African nations is very similar to us in Palestine. And now we are the upgraded version of this like new apartheid. So confronting apartheid means that we need to hit in the buckets. How can we hit in the buckets? By making something that is affordable and easy for everybody to be part of. So we are, in fact, generating and gathering a global movement to create that avalanche that would create a big hit in their pocket. And I say they in their pocket, I'm talking about the hidden hands that makes and benefiting out of the genocide, out of the war, out of killing people and destroying lives. So the fizzy drinks, which is very simple, very affordable, it's a simple act of resilience and a simple act of solidarity and a simple act of no. And that's exactly what Gaza Cola is doing. It's our Palestinian horse of freedom that will be shouting loud, be will be driven by everybody who drinks these fizzy drinks, or this drink that is affordable also, that can be used in your wedding, it can be used in your in your birthday celebration, it can be used with your sandwich, it can be used with your food, but at the same time it can be used to rebuild a hospital. We did choose a very small hospital, a hospital close to my heart, Al Karama Hospital, because it's very manageable to do, but it's also a very symbolic. We need
Mm,
to give tools to be able to communicate that their togetherness with little things can make something and build something, and at the same time send a message to the big corporation which is in support of this genocide, that the human beings who march in the streets and they are against this genocide can together do something to hurt you in your pockets, and you got to stop investing in arm and supporting this the genocidal state of Israel, committing more atrocities and destroying more lives in hospitals and infrastructure in Palestine. Let us remember, this genocide has been ongoing for more than 80 years.
mm,
And, counting. The last 2 years has been particularly very hard, simply because it's been very kind of, um, you know, graphic and very crude in terms of like the pictures and everything that we're seeing. But let us remember, we as a human can do anything within our own power. Before they make us imprisoners ourselves, let us remember that we are free humans who are allowed to make their own choices and choose to self-determinate. That we have the right to say no. We have the right to decide where our money will go. We have the right to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters. We have the right to tell the world that we are not going to allow another apartheid, another like King two system, another genocide to happen again. And this is, you as a journalist, me as an advocate, people as a consumer have always a role in part. And our job is to make that system, to create an infrastructure where we can together do something which is part of our habit, part of
mm,
our life, and make a change for the good.
mm, mm. You keep mentioning something which is very, very important. The fact that and the fact that the importance of hurting the big corporations in the pocket. Do you think that message has filtered down on the ground? Do you think people understand BDS, that not you, it might seem simple, but you not buying that can of Coca-Cola, or you not going to a McDonald's, or you not buying an HP product, it's not just symbolic, but you're hurting a big corporation which is literally funding a genocide against the people of Palestine. Do you think that message has filtered through, or people feel, well, it's just a few cents from my pocket, what difference is it going to make?
Well, brother, let me just tell you something. We as a Muslim people, and as a I don't know, as an average people,
Mm,
who actually just, we are normal. We're all normal human beings, and we don't believe in our power. We don't believe in our power, and that's kind of a big, big, big problem. And the other guys, the big guys, they believe in our power. So we have to think, the big boys, they are fearful of our power, but we yet ourselves are not appreciative of our own power.
mm,
So to answer your question, we need to change the perspective, and we need to use South African voice and South African leadership into this world of justice to come to the surface. And it did work in South Africa. Otherwise, you won't be talking to me today.
true.
It did work a long time ago when people come together and put financial pressure. It is working today, but they are making it very difficult to show us the results. But if people search, if people look, they will see and appreciate that there is a huge drop. I mean, there is, in some countries, these companies, they don't function anymore. In other countries, their market share has dropped almost 30% more. We need to keep persisting. We need to persevere. We need to believe in ourselves that we have the power together. And that is exactly right. And that's exactly where we need to be. And I'm going to talk to the Muslim audience now in particular
Mm,
and tell them, my brothers and sisters, there is a book called Sahih Mu'min, Sahih Mu'min, Sahih Bukhari. uh, and I'm just thinking, like, why do we need to uh, like divert away from Sahih Mu'min? Because when the kafir go up and say that, your sanction is hurting our company and losing money, we believe him. So I think we need to kind of try and put together a collection of Sahih Kafir to know what the kafir is saying, so we can believe in what they're doing and what we are doing that is making a difference. So I do feel that, brothers and sisters, the big, massive agenda of this cooperation is to make sure that we are made to believe that we are hopeless, powerless, useless, and our 2 cents doesn't make a difference.
Mm.
And this is their job. I'm not going to explain their job to everybody, but our job is to make sure that every little thing that we do on a daily basis is something that we need to truly believe in, and make sure that it will together make a lot of difference. And this is why we need to believe that our ingredients as human being worldwide, once we are connected, they are trying to disconnect us. Once we are connected, we're going to create the avalanche. We will create that change. And believe me, brothers and sisters, the change will happen overnight, but you don't know when it will happen. And that is exactly why we need to not stop, and we need to prepare our generation, our schools, our communities, ourselves for that. And we've created something called Palestine House, and I would like everybody to visit our website, Palestine House. And Palestine House is a cultural incubator that created projects physically, like this product that you're looking at, Gaza Cola. So Gaza Cola is one of many other products that will come
Mm.
to provide an alternative and to actually try and voice out Palestine. And we need amplifiers to reach our voice, and to kind of reach our voice to other people. We need blogs to plug us into communities, because I feel, as a Palestinian, we are leading this war against injustice. We are being sacrificed on a daily basis on behalf of the whole of the ummah, on behalf of the whole of those marginalized people, whether they're Muslim or not Muslim, on behalf of those poor, on behalf of those people who are there. The exchange rate of their life is way lower than the exchange rate of another people. And that is
Mm.
why we need to use what's happening in Palestine now as an advocacy tool, and create it through our social media, through our media, through our law, through our simple activity, by just going to the corner shop and buying something. And we need to keep believing in ourselves and believe that there is so many beautiful ways of beautifulness. There is so many successful way of successful. There is so many different way of enjoying taste and contributing. And we should not be limited, and we should not be directed by these guys, because their marketing campaign is all about, the only way to look beautiful is to take this. The only way to
Mm.
feel completely fulfilled is by drinking that. Their marketing campaign is completely powerful, and it is manipulating our brain to convert us into a consumer society that spend their money. And imagine that we are spending our own money to be marginalized and to be looked down upon. And that's got to stop, brothers and sisters. We need to create more initiatives to try and come up from bottom to top and say, this is our story, this is our narrative. We are beautiful, we are powerful, we are unstoppable, and we can do it together. And that's have to be the message of Africa. That's have to be the message of Asia. That's have to be the message of the Middle East in general. That's have to be our message as a Muslim ummah, because together we have the power. And that is exactly
Mm.
where we need to keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. And we should not accept that our weakness is weak. We have to believe that our weakness is rather a strength, and we need to try and improve it and make it available for everybody to appreciate it and believe in ourselves for a change, because they fear us, my brothers and sisters. They fear us, and
Mm.
we are coming, and we need to be a great believers that we will have to do this. And I can tell you, as a Palestinian, I don't fear nothing. I don't fear nothing, because what I see from these sacrifice of the little children is way beyond me and way beyond my imagination. And that's why we need, my brothers and sisters, to travel and migrate to the greatest nation ever, which is our imagination. We need to
mm,
be living into our imagination, where we can create things that doesn't exist, where we can be heroes, where we can believe in our dreams and make them come true. And I'm sorry to be a bit luxurious, but I just wanted to kind of send a message that yes, we are seeing blood and atrocities in Palestine. Yes, we're seeing them going crazy on a daily basis and killing more of us. Yes, we are observing and living an ongoing genocide. But yes, we should not be giving up and made to feel weaker and useless as an international community. That should be
mm,
the fuel, the nuclear fuel, to make us go outrageous, to go courageous, and to jump and do and continue in doing and not give up, because they want us to feel that, this is going to be forgotten very soon. We should not
mm,
forget. And we should not forget what was happening in South Africa. Because what's happening now in Palestine is a continuation of what happened a long time ago. And that means that cancer wasn't totally treated. That cancer of apartheid and injustice and slavery was not treated properly. And we need to try and come to the root of this cancer and try and give it another dose, another awakening, another treatment. So maybe one day we can live in a free world where we all treated equally. We can all travel freely. We can all appreciate it on the same level, and we can all be free.
No, definitely, definitely, and I think you share very, very powerful, powerful words. I would like us to, answer difficult questions, because when you get in this realm, where you start challenging authorities, where you start challenging, brands that have been, entrenched in our lives for hundreds of years, they're going to ask you difficult questions. They're going to want you to defend your stance. And the difficult question is, many might argue that a soft drink is too symbolic. It's not a tangible solution to Gaza's dire situation right now. How do you respond to those who might dismiss it as a mere publicity stunt, saying there's no way you can go against Coca-Cola, there's no way you can go against Pepsi, no matter how pure your intentions, your nia might be, but this is a publicity stunt. We've seen social media. You have a lot of keyboard warriors. You have a lot of people that have taken up the struggle of the people of Palestine as merely a trend. How would you answer that question?
Well, my friend, if we don't have an alternative, we can't answer that question. So we need to find an alternative and say, okay, fine, what don't you like about this? And let us improve it together. So basically, we need to find an alternative first. We cannot just keep on saying we need to stop this without finding an alternative. We find an alternative, we stop it. And obviously, their marketing tools are extremely powerful. They are converting us into a habitual. We grow up as children watching the news and watching the TV, talking and bragging about this. But I'm going to tell you something, my friend. Why does everybody in Johannesburg and everywhere in the world understand and see the streets of New York and the celebrities of America and and why do we learn, even if we don't travel to America, about Empire State Building? Why do we need to watch like Friends and Six in the City and all of this cultural product? Why nobody else know what's happening in Johannesburg? Why we don't know the
Mm,
streets of Johannesburg, the streets of Gaza, the streets of this country and the other country? That is alone is an answer. The brand and branding and marketing. So basically, if anything happened in New York or anything happened in these familiar places, we feel very personal. We feel
mm,
very, very personal. And it's like these American films, when we were kids, we were watching the TV and we will clap when the white man killed the black guy or the indigenous Indian for no reason. Just because, we meant to feel that, the white guy is the good guy and that guys are the bad guys. You know what I mean? We have no
mm,
reason to hate the black guys or the native guys, just for the simple reason that the TV and these marketing campaigns were made to make us believe that the white guy is the good guy. You know what I mean? So why do we need to believe that Coca-Cola is the good guy and Gaza Cola is the bad guy? I mean, it's the same mentality. So we need to read, explore, and appreciate, what our strength that is small have to be fostered. Look, you know, uh, uh, let us think of the size of Gaza, okay? Let us think of the size of Gaza in comparison to the size of almighty America, Britain, and Israel together on a military kind of capacity. Imagine this. I mean, if people in Gaza thought for a second we can't take over these big countries, and that's mean that we should just basically die in misery and in complete frustration, and we should not try, um, what would happen?
Mm.
Over a year now, and they can't even defeat them. They thought it was like a journey of 2 weeks, and then that's it, it'll be over. They can't. That should give us an example that yes, you can be little and small, but you could be as annoying as possible, and you will not make it certainly easy for them to take over you. You need to resist, my friend. And that's what we're doing. These smaller actions that we have to do as a human beings is an act of resistance as a humans, because we need to stop them depriving us from just our right to be free and to say no. And you know, a little sacrifice is not a problem for a free man who believe that his children have to live in a free world. And I think we need to believe in ourselves. We need to believe that we can do it better, we can do it more, and we can create our own airplanes and our own fizzy drinks at the same time. I shouldn't think that they should be disconnected. But you know, you've got a big nose, so beautiful nose. It doesn't need to be slim to be completely desirable. That is what I mean by so many different ways of beauty. That's what I mean, that nobody have the right to tell you need to that to be certain style to be desirable, to drink some certain drinks to be completely kind of a style. You know, people go to McDonald's as an act of like showing off. I mean, what a crazy world that we live in. We go to a very unhealthy processed food place to feel luxurious and to feel like we are closer to the ideal world because we saw it on TV, because we saw it on that kind of like a film or Hollywood film. It's all in it's, my friend, it's all in the head. If you control your head, if you control the processing that goes into that head that prevent you to merge into your imagination, then you're okay. But the minute you allow them to get into your imagination and imprison you in there, then you are completely wasted, my friend. And you need to re-examine yourself. Speak to your friends. Go back spiritual and try and get that inner strength to make you believe in yourself, because that's exactly what we need. And it is early morning. I don't know what's the time now in Johannesburg, but I think that we need to have that dose of complete belief in ourselves, that dose of complete believing that we can do it. We can do it. And if we, you know, other people are entitled to their opinion, but you know, the minute your friends start playing you down, I think you need to think again, my friend. Because if you are, you know, my grandmother, God bless her soul, told me two things basically. If you are having two bad friends, you'll be the third. If you have two loser friends, you'll be the third. If you have two successful friends, you'll be the third. So that's exactly where we need to have our narrative. If somebody start playing you down, you know what to do. You need to exit or guide them, and that's it. Khalas. You cannot basically, you cannot allow them to enter into your imagination. You say, okay, fine, your imagination have a problem. Let us try and fix it. If you don't, let my imagination alone. Thank you very much.
No, definitely. I think we're going to leave it on that note. But before I let you go, any plans to bring Gaza Cola to South Africa, to the rest of the continent? Expansion? How are we looking on that front?
Okay, so Gaza Cola is 100% Palestinian product. It's 100% Palestinian product, 100% apartheid and genocide free, and 100% going back to rebuilding Palestine and hospital in Gaza. So for this note, we are the only alternative drink that is out there that kind of have that very simple three messages, and nobody else is out there who have this message. So we need to get to South Africa. Coming to South Africa is not an easy ride. It does need an investment. It does need a good wholesaler to come forward. We need to have also a marketing campaign. And you know what? I think South Africa is the natural destination for this product, because it is a product. And I'm going to tell you a very nice news in a minute. This product is a product that is really reminding people with apartheid and what apartheid does as well in a very simple way. So yesterday we signed with Duns, an Irish supermarket chain, and for South African, Duns is a very important name that you need to know.
Mm.
Duns in 1984, the workers in Duns in Ireland, a customer arrived at midday with a product from apartheid South Africa, and the lady looked at him and she said, I'm not scanning this shit. Excuse the French.
Mm.
And her colleague joined, and it was all over the news. You can check it out, guys. And that was the first store in the world to stop scanning and selling apartheid South Africa. And that led to the massive movement in Europe with anti-apartheid movement, where a lot of people start following suitcase. So
Mm.
yesterday, this store have signed up and they are putting Gaza Cola as a mark of solidarity and to also voice out again the anti-apartheid movement. So this is for me is amazing and great. And the people of Ireland who have all our support and love, they are being very loud and proud in terms of advocating for justice and peace for Palestine, like South Africa. And
Mm.
I think if I'm to pick two countries who actually been a bit vocal and loud and brave in terms of doing things without being apologetic, I cannot skip South Africa and Ireland. They are the leaders of this. So yes, I want you to look through your library for people in South Africa who will be as brave as the Irish. Because yesterday we sold more than 40 container in
Mm.
Ireland. 40 container. You know what is that? 40 container mean like 5 million can. Can
Wow.
you imagine that? In
Wow.
Ireland, 5 million people. That's the
Mm.
population of Ireland. So I what is the population of South Africa, if you don't mind me asking?
67 million right now.
If we don't find in these 67 million somebody who's brave enough to make money and to make business, to come forward and to come through this, and I'm not asking them to kind of do it for free. I don't want no charity or nothing.
Mm.
We commit and we pledge our own charity to go to Gaza, but business people can make business, enjoy, make a lot of money. Let people enjoy this beautiful drink and let us make it viral. 67 million in South Africa, and South Africa is a very dear and very hard, is the jewel of liberty. If
Mm.
if in these 67 million we're not going to find a distributor or a blockchain or like a logistic chain who would come in and be in touch, and I'm going to use the Nigerian now way of saying like okay, no, I don't want to even go there. So I
Yeah.
really think that we need somehow through your contact, I don't know your followers, but maybe somebody out there who's listening, he would start now thinking, how can I bring in this product and let us start by dreaming. Let us start by making a first contact. I did actually receive a lot of contact from South Africa, but it's a lot of emotional people who don't have the knowledge of the distribution and the wholesale expertise into how to get into the market. So it will come to South Africa. It will make money. I don't know who will be the lucky person to come and be jumping there and do it. But if you have any contact, chip in, my friend. We need it, inshallah.
No, definitely. We're going to leave it there for now. I really appreciate it, and I can tell you for sure, it will do great in South Africa. There's a lot of support, and it just needs that spark to make it happen. But we're going to leave it there for now. It was really a pleasure chatting to you. Really
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Assalama.
There we go. That was Osama Qashoo coming to us live from London. Very, very passionate. I think you can hear it in his voice that, we need to start doing something. We need to find alternatives. And yeah, if you're listening, you feel like this could be a great opportunity for you, you can contact us on 01168000355 and we can link you up with Osama and we can make things happen. But yeah, really, really interesting conversation. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues.